In Greek mythology, Lernaean Hydra was a monster that had many heads, and each time a head was cut off, two would grow in its place. A multi-headed snake with the power of regeneration and deadly poison, the Hydra was one of the most fearsome monsters in Greek mythology. The Hydra was the monstrous offspring of Echidna, the mother of monsters, and Typhon, the most powerful of all monsters. This made the Lernaean Hydra sibling to other notable monsters, including the Chimera, Cerberus and the Colchian dragon. The Hydra was not raised by Echidna though. The monster was taken into the care of the goddess Hera, and raised for one particular purpose, plotting the demise of Hercules. The Hydra is most famous for its numerous heads. It has 9 heads, 8 mortal and 1 immortal. Each of these heads was also dared to exhale deadly gases. Hera would establish a home for the Hydra on Lerna, hence the given name of the monster. Nominally the role of the Lernaean Hydra was to guard this entrance to the underworld, and any unwary traveler was likely to be killed by the monster. The Lernaean Hydra became famous because of the adventures of the Greek hero Hercules, as one of the 12 labors. Eurystheus, king of Tiryns, sent Hercules to slay the Hydra, as the second of the set of labors that the hero had to complete, in order to redeem himself for killing his wife and children. Hercules traveled from Mycenae to Lerna, and eventually located the Lernaean Hydra in one of its lair in an inhospitable swamp. When Hercules reached the lake Lerna, he had to cover his nose and mouth with a cloth, in order to protect himself from poisonous gases that were emitted. Then Hercules took up his bows and arrows, and lighting his arrows one by one, took aim at the Lernaean Hydra. The arrows did no damage to Hydra. Hercules dropped his bow and taken up his sword, quickly cut one of its head off, only to realize in despair that 2 new heads had grown. So he decided to ask for the help of his nephew, Iolaus, who thought of using fire to cauterize the stump as soon as the head is cut off. So, Hercules would cut off the heads, and Iolaus would burn the wound with a firebrand. As a result, they both quickly started winning the battle. The goddess Hera had been observing the fight between Hydra and Hercules. Seeking to give Hydra an advantage, she sent a second monster to assist. The second monster was Carcinus, but compared to the Hydra it was an insignificant monster. Hercules simply crushed it beneath his feet. Hercules though still had the problem of how to deal with the final immortal head of the Hydra. Hercules had a friend in the form of his half-sister, Athena. Athena would present Hercules with a golden sword, and this sword easily allowed Hercules to remove the final head of the monster, killing it. Hercules would subsequently dip all of his arrows into the venomous blood of the Hydra. This would later be the hero's demise. Hera turned both of her dead monsters into constellations. Hydra became the constellation of the same name, while the crab turned into the constellation Cancer.